Look, man, COVID, flu. It's all going down, but we got to make it do what it do. Cuzzo, we got Cuzzo in the building, and I just want to introduce Cuzzo real quickly here because he's joining the team. He'll be part of our 99 Pod family. So, Cuzzo, I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this ride. How you feeling right now?
I feel good. This 99 podcast is going to be crazy. I'm excited. Y'all got the hottest topics. It is the greatest debates. And I love kicking with you guys. Just second, my man Zay. Yo, it's getting crazy out here. Kids are getting sick, B. So I'm here. I made it. We ready to roll.
Let's get right to it because we got to take care of the kids. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's get right to it. Talking about the NBA and Kyrie Irving. Can I say I'm not surprised that the Nets always find themselves a hot topic in media for all the wrong reasons? Never good, never about winning. It's about losing. It's about other stuff. Let's talk about it right now. Kyrie Irving suspended without pay for at least 5 games after failing to apologize for his anti-Semitism remarks during the media session. Should the Nets consider trading Kyrie Irving? And Cuzzo, I'll begin with you. Talk to me.
Yeah. Well, listen, Kyrie Irving. Okay, eventually, just to be fair, he apologized now, right? He just went publicly. I think he put it out to his agent or some type of formal apology now, saying that I'm sorry for hurting the Jewish community, etc. Probably should have did that days ago. Probably should have did that a week ago. Okay, that's his stance. Then you shouldn't have apologized, right? But if you're gonna apologize, you should have did that a while ago. What are you waiting for? Okay, the simple fact that we are in a different world, and I'm gonna break this down to y'all really quick. I'm gonna let y'all know how this really goes down. We're in a very sensitive time. This is cancel culture. Anytime you say anything, they're gonna come at you sideways. Okay, so I want to be fair about that. Okay, this is not the 70s and 80s. In the 70s and 80s, people was able to talk reckless on national television, live programming with children around. You was allowed to say the N word, the gay word, whatever you want to say on television. I was there. I saw it. Okay. The 90s was where it stopped. The 90s is where they said, should we be saying that? That's what the question. Is that okay? Should it happen? The 2000s was, we need some regulations. 2010s was, yes, that's not going to be allowed. And we're not going to stand for that no more. We in 2020s now. Okay. Our society today is very sensitive on any topic that might hurt anybody. We all know this. We are in the cancel culture. And if you want to stand alone and stand by your principles, I'm all for that too. Okay? But understand, in the NBA, when you're involved in a corporation like the NBA or a company like the NBA, who wants all the dollars globally, that's what they want. They don't want certain people money. They want everybody's money. And when they want everybody's money, they're not going to disrespect no parties, whether it's the gay community, the African American community, the Asian community, the Jewish community, doesn't matter what community is. The minute you disrespect a community or hurt a group of people that they want money from, okay, they're expecting you to apologize if you want to be down with the NBA. It's just that simple. Now, we do not have an African American league. Okay, the corporations that pay the NBA is owned by most white folk. McDonald's, Bud Light. We own these companies. Cadillac. We don't own these companies, bro. So if you want to get paid $40 million a year, okay, we got to be knowledgeable and realize that we got to go under certain guidelines that's going to allow us to get paid this money because that's who's sponsoring the NBA. So you want to stand by your principles? You shouldn't apologize at all. You're a man. Kyrie made over $200 million in his life. He want to go and live a happy married life. You want to play another day in the NBA? That's fine. But if you want to play in the NBA, you should apologize. It's really that simple. Okay? He grew up in this era. This is the cancel culture. He's not an old head that don't realize I said something wrong. I said something wrong? I don't know. No, you know. You know you did. So you should understand you need to apologize. Even if you don't mean it. Because I'm quite sure there's plenty of people in today's era that apologized that didn't mean it. They understand they have to go public with it because they want to get their bag. And if he want to get his bag, who's on his last year of his contract, apologize. That's why he did it, because he's looking for a contract. Y'all can take that.
Zay, I see you smiling. I'm going to just take the back seat here, let you go, and then I'll bring us home.
I just want to respond real quick to Freddie that we are living in the era that not only is it cancel culture, it is the era where the consumers have more power than the producers and the creators of the world. So when we look at the basketball players and they do something wrong, once the consumers are like, we don't agree with this, we don't like this, that's when the teams are like, all right, hold on, they're taking our ticket sales, they're doing things where it can mess us up, because the ticket holders were the ones that were saying we're not going to renew our season tickets if Kyrie Irving's still on his team or if he doesn't apologize to the community. So that impacts the Nets completely. When you talk about sponsorships for the NBA, if they're in unison saying we're going to pull our sponsorships from the NBA if Kyrie doesn't apologize, that's a whole other thing. I said it before that and off air that Kyrie Irving could potentially face a season-long suspension, or his career can end right here if he doesn't apologize. And show and behold, he got a 5-game suspension without pay. And then the Nets GM just said he's not going to play another minute on the court until he meets a Jewish leader. Now, Kyrie Irving is a lot of things, but a fool is one thing he isn't. He does speak out a lot. He does do a lot of things, but every move he ever makes has a purpose. And we know that about Kyrie Irving. And I think in this particular case, if he wants to make a stance and he says, I'm not apologizing for anything, I'm not doing things in that nature, then Kyrie Irving's going to do it. He's stubborn like that because he sticks to his word no matter what. And that's something that I could see Kyrie potentially doing. Like, all right, I don't mind not playing a single minute on the court if it means that my voice is going to be heard and not silenced, because the media has been picking on Kyrie for a while now. It's not just like this is the first instance. It is a while now that the media has been picking on him because they know they're going to get a headline. They know they're going to get their supervisors happy because Kyrie Irving said something. They got the article going to New York Post, New York Times, Daily Post, Daily News, all these other news outlets, and they get excited when Kyrie Irving talks because Kyrie Irving is not afraid to speak his mind. Right. There was a lot of things he said during both interviews, interviews. And the only thing they're taking away from it is, everything he said about the anti-Semitic documentary, and they kept repeating it. And, he said a lot of things. He mentioned that I'm a human being. Don't frame. I forgot exactly word for word he said, but he said I'm a human being. They basically don't take my words and do something like that.
Don't dehumanize me.
Correct. Don't dehumanize me. And, that speaks volumes because the media kept attacking him even after he said that. Right. They kept targeting him after he said that. But we ignore that because we want to go highlight a bigger issue, which was the anti-Semitic documentary. That's what they want to highlight opposed to his words. He didn't say nothing about Jewish people. He didn't say nothing like, oh, I don't like Jewish people. I don't care for Jewish people. He never said anything in that nature. He said, don't dehumanize me. But people continued to pick at him and continue to attack him as such. Now, I'm not agreeing what Kyrie Irving sponsored. He sponsored a documentary that he rather A, didn't watch, or B, did watch, and he secretly does agree with his values. I don't agree with any of that either way. But we also have to point the finger at the media by saying, hey, like you're literally attacking somebody. The same way you're saying don't attack him, Kyrie, don't attack people, you're attacking him. And you have to kind of take that medicine as well. Like if you're gonna point fingers at him, but also point them at yourself because you're the reason he's saying the things he's saying because of the questions you're asking.
Right.
I think
Zay, I'm sorry. I want to say one thing on top of Zay, and then I'm gonna let you go real quick. I'm sorry about that, cuz.
No, go ahead.
Kyrie, really quick. He is, just to be fair, Zay, he's putting it out there though. He can have his opinion silently. Once you put your opinion out there publicly, you open yourself up for criticism. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, cuz.
I think when Zay made a point, he kind of forgot to expand on it in the beginning in the sense that, well, I won't say expand on it, he did, but looked at a different angle from it when he talked about the consumer having the most power. Let's be clear here. The black dollar is the biggest consumer there is out there. So if we were to use our power and say, okay, if y'all doing Kyrie Irving this way, and basically what he's doing, in spite of everything else, is promoting blackness, then we put our money away. How about that? Now we'll see what the NBA decides to do. So when we talk about the black dollar and the importance of the black dollar, let's be clear here. Our dollars are important. We run pop culture. We run sports. That's just how it is. So we do have the most power, not any other race. We do. If we want to talk about who's, holding the product, then that's a different thing. Who's running the product, then that's a different race. We all know who those races are. But when it comes to Kyrie Irving and everything with him right now, my issue is that the media is picking on Kyrie Irving mainly because they don't like his stances. They don't like his uniqueness about him. They don't like the fact that he's a free thinker. Me personally, without going through my personal views, I classify myself as a free thinker myself. I don't allow anybody to tell me a narrative and I run away with that and I grow up with that and I'm indoctrinated into that. I have my questions. I have my theories. I have my suspicions and I move accordingly. And I believe what I want to believe and what basically is presented to me and the facts and the lack thereof, right? That's how I think. Right. So I'm a part of that branch. At the same time, when it comes to Kyrie Irving, the media don't like that. They don't like the fact that he said, you know what? I'm not going to take your money. I'm going to sit out because I'm not getting vaccinated. We all know that the media want to push that narrative for good or for better, however you view it. I don't really care. They want to push that narrative. That's something that we all can agree because we see the TV commercials, right? Mm-hmm. And even Kanye West, who came out on a national televised interview, said that Hillary Clinton called up Kim Kardashian to promote the vaccination. So when politicians want you to promote something or the media wants you to promote something and you actually are not promoting it, but you're making a stance against it, that's where it's going to be a lot of problems because everybody in that media that was talking about Kyrie Irving in that particular situation, they would not be there if they said, oh, I agree with Kyrie Irving, you shouldn't get vaccinated. They would have lost their jobs because that's why he took the stance in the first place, right? So when you are in the system where the system is operating a certain way and they have an agenda and you go against that, you're not going to fit. You're going to have lots of mutual disconnects and collaborative disconnects. And that's what's going on with Kyrie Irving. I can't fault the Nets for being a corporation and doing what corporations do, which is make money. I can't fault them at all. So if they wanted to trade him because he's a headache, because, most of the stuff he does is take stances and not really commit fully to playing basketball, I can't get mad if they said, you know what, Sean Marks, we trade Kyrie Irving and get that baggage out of here. But the problem is, who are you going to trade him to? I don't think he has no trade stock because a lot of people don't want to deal with that headache. Now, I haven't watched that documentary that he promoted. I didn't. But at the same time, he promoted it on his platforms. Why can't athletes who have platforms speak their opinions, whether or not we agree with it or not? Right? It's not like he said, I agree or anything. He just promoted the documentary. The same documentary that's on Amazon, which the NFL and other entities are partnering with. Okay, let's be clear here. So are they going to take a stance and, boycott Amazon? Because that same documentary is on Amazon. So keep that same energy. And one more thing before I pass the rock back. When it came to another situation, let's not forget, there was a backlash before this one, right before this one, when he posted a clip of Alex Jones. For those that don't know Alex Jones, he's a conspiracy theorist who is on trial, ordered to pay millions of dollars for his comments on Sandy Hook, saying it was a hoax, right? What Kyrie Irving posted was him talking about a totally different thing. It was him talking about secret societies, which he acknowledged do exist. He promoted that clip. He didn't promote what he said about Sandy Hook. And they got on him for that. So at the end of the day, it's no win-win for Kyrie Irving. It's just shut up and dribble.
Here it is like this. Kyrie, we're gonna use Kyrie. I want to try to stick it with Kyrie. Kyrie got freedom of speech. More than I would or more than you would, because he's worth $100 million. He can say whatever he want to say and stand on it. And I prefer him to do that because with $100 million, he don't ever got to work again in his life. So he should stand on it. But Kyrie want money. And understand that no matter how free he might think he is, he want money. And he want their money. The money that they can offer him. Okay? And if you don't want that money, say whatever you want to say. Can they stop him? If he wasn't in the NBA, can they stop him? He got more than enough money. He don't need to work again in his life. His kids don't need to work. He got enough money to say whatever he want to say. And if he truly believe in that stand on it then. Because you ain't in a situation like I am. I actually got to go out and make money. So that's maybe freedom of speech to me could be different. But for him, handle yours. But he want the bag. And if you want that bag, consequences going to happen when you say X, Y, and Z. That's it. Because if you're going to affect my bottom line, they're going to affect yours. That's how it works. yo, Kyrie, you can't say that. Why? It's affecting everybody's bottom line. I don't care. Okay, you don't care? Watch this. Now we're going to affect yours. You don't want to affect yours? You said you apologize? Now you ain't affected your bottom line. It ain't affected mine. We have a Merry Christmas. That's it.
I don't know. This whole Kyrie Irving situation is different because Kyrie Irving already made one stance and won. Let's not forget that. He won the COVID battle.
No,
when they said you can't play, he won that. Right? He was allowed. He forced the mayor to change everything.
I agree.
And he won that.
Listen,
so it's going to be. Go ahead.
But and stand on this one.
Before we leave here, before we leave this topic, because right now all this is happening while the Nets are trying to make a hire at coach, which is, I don't know. It's a little conflict of interest there. But Ime Udoka was set to be the guy that they're looking to hire. Me personally, it's a double-edged sword because if you were to take the job, right now, we can all agree that what the Nets lack right now is accountability, right? They do what they want over there, pretty much. Or you're going to take somebody that got into a situation on the Celtics and ask him to hold Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant accountable when he didn't hold himself accountable. You got what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that's the route they want to go if you're Sean Marks and Joe Tsai because of everything that's going on with Kyrie Irving right now, everything that's going on with the Nets and not winning games, and everything that's going on with Ime. Is that a collaboration that's set up for disaster? Or is it, listen, he was on the team before, he left the team, made the finals, should have won it. That's a good hire.
Don't hire no female staffers. You should be fine.
I would tell you like this. I don't think the Nets organization is built for success, no matter who they hire as coach. The whole thing got to get tore down. It's a horrible situation. If I'm any power of the Nets, I'm trading everybody. I'm starting from scratch. It's a disaster, bro. It's just what it is. It's a train wreck. Okay, they're just adding more weight on to a train wreck.
No, yeah, the Nets is just, they don't have the personnel to win games, to win championships, to win playoff series. It's just, they don't have it. You got rid of Jared Allen. Still don't understand why you got rid of all those assets for James Harden when you didn't need a point guard. They had Dinwiddie, they had Caris LeVert, they had Jared Allen. What are you trading for James Harden for? Like, I understand you wanted a superstar, three-headed dragon, but you had the assets to go for deep into playoffs. When you have Jared Allen, Caris LeVert, then you have Dinwiddie, you had Kyrie, you had KD, you already had Nicholas Claxton come off the bench. You had a recipe of just guys. Joe Harris, you had guys. Why would you want to trade the hustle players to get a star player, then don't keep him to trade for Ben Simmons, who can't stay healthy on the court?
Hey, you didn't even get Maxey. Like, that's why when I go back on that trade and I reverse cycle, they didn't even get Maxey. Like, if you were to get Ben Simmons and Maxey, Ben Simmons is struggling right now. You got Maxey, who could push the pace. You didn't even bring him in. How are you trading James Harden? You have the leverage. How are you trading James Harden and not bring back Maxey? And that's why I always go to that James Harden trade as the moment that really doomed the Nets. Not the moment where they signed Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. The moment that they traded for James Harden because they had hustle guys that they traded, like Caris LeVert, who, by the way, would have been coming off the bench as well.
Yeah. Listen, before we get off this topic, I think it'd be sad not to mention Kevin Durant is just not as good as everybody think he is. I'm just going to go there real quick. I'm sorry. He's just not. Not to me anyway.
And ladies and gentlemen, when we come back after the break, it's time for top number 2. Keep it locked.